Hey, this is Scott from Junlid Requisites. Just got done with Requisition number 1. It's a Korbanth K4, which is the A New Hope Kenobi style hilt with a few modifications. Start off, there's a blue-white tri-Cree LED. There's a Panasonic 3400 milliamp, I believe, 18650 battery, pretty standard. There's a Prizm, a Plecter Prizm5.1, which is fun. It's got some nice new features. Going down, it has a little quartz crystal chamber inside of here. We'll see. A Railmaster 20mm high bass speaker, and all sitting inside of the Goth 3D Designs made by Darth Ryo Knight tier chassis, which is the one with the crystal reveal, the basic one. And externally, we have a blade plug made by Parfait Lumiere on the FX forums and all that stuff. Hard to tell, but that's a real crystal point coming out of there. There, kind of go into the light on it properly, with some E6000 behind it to hold it in. But all you're looking at there is the crystal itself. You can see the point. Anyhow, so when you turn that on,
You can't win, Darth.
that shines through pretty brightly. 'Cause there's just the clear E6000 behind it. It's muffled, by the way. And then I shortened the neck down. This was originally my own. K4 was going to be my personal collection. So I made the neck accurate to the Tunisia version. Tunisia hero prop, that belt hanger, which if you look on the reference photos has a little bit different connection method, is what it looks like, than the regular Mark I or the Chronicles hilt, the Death Star one. That's much shorter here. This distance is shorter from this line here, is shorter because it's actually going inside, but that's just not how the K4 is made, so I thought it was apt for the Tunisia neck. Another reason it has this bigger shoulder on this section. The Chronicle sabers are much more diagonal. It's like 45 degrees or more angle, and this has a little bit of a step here, which kind of replicates what is seen in the Tunisia photos again. It looks like this entire grenade section had just been flipped. There's some debate on that, but that's what it kind of looks like if on the Romans, for example, this edge being here. That's certainly what it looks like, with this being screwed in, not all the way, but because of the way that the slope that I mentioned a second ago, this couldn't screw in all the way. So there was this little, there was a rectangle, a squared edge, and then another little tiny lip from the top of the brass ring, a few of the threads showing. So that's kind of what is shown with that silhouette right there. So that just kind of works out, if you ask me. So I weathered this down quite a bit, stripped it, and used aluminum black and some other paints, knocked it off back and forth, just to give it some age. And as you go down, this is a Romans Graflex replica clamp, and that just thought it fit a little nicer to have the wording there. Here are the two transistors, which are the activation and auxiliary buttons, as per the customer's request, Justin. And inside the Romans clamp is a Romans Exactra bubble strip replica, which fits perfectly in there. Just put some E6000 on there to keep it totally snug, just on one side. So if you ever need to take it off, this will just stick into this side. It will just remain there, and the other side can open up as it needs to. And in the palm, we have the D-ring from Wanawanga, which is a nice fit in there. So to remove the blade plug and put a blade in, and to twist this clockwise, righty-tighty, so it'll screw down, and that can just drop, that's fine. And you're gonna have two set screws. Mine came with at least, so I just put them in there, just because I left one of them out. It was actually eliminating one of these rings when the blade wasn't, I don't know, it looked kind of weird. Anyways, two set screws, use at least one. So, try to do this one-handed like I said. Okay, there we go. Fix the E6000. The crystal. It's hard to see in there, but it's in there. Okay, and you take your blade. This is a just standard Vader's Vault. Normal everything blade. Tighten these. Tedious, but okay. And you have to do this, and this is going to be awkward one-handed. Let me screw this on. Let me do this off camera so I don't ruin the threads. Okay, this is screwed up. Give me no trouble, because I ground the set screws down from an 1/8 inch down to almost a nub, so that this thing could screw over them. So there's two set screws, and this is actually not put in all the way. I mounted the LED directly to the heatsink here, so the blade is going to sit around it. Justin, you're going to have to use kind of like the saber forge blade method. Sorry to even bring that up, but just leave about an inch of the film, 3/4 or maybe like 1 inch of film gone, so that the blade can actually slip over the entire LED and the lens that's inside there. I'll show you. But the two set screws, even though this isn't in all the way, because I didn't want to take the film out of my standard Vader's Vault blade. There's my Fury. But it's pretty sturdy. It looks pretty good. Just kind of a shot. There's the blue. I believe this is Hero. After One Sith's Master, I believe this is Mad Cow's Hero. Yeah. Slightly different shimmer. It's cool that the Prism has so many auxiliary noises. I'm used to the Crystal Shard version 3 in there with only one, so it's kind of fun for me to hear. Okay, and then next. Oh, I believe this is Jedi Knight or Jedi Outcast. Just another standard, just a blue sounding. And this is just light meat again. And light meat has been pre-tuned on the board to have the auxiliary blasts match up perfectly with the noises. And that's really easy to do with the Prizm 5. You just go into the files, and there's a little tiny little sub text document that you just can pinpoint exactly when you want it to happen. But it matches up with the deflection of the actual kind of cool. One thing about the combination of board and hilt is this is a very heavy hilt, relatively speaking. Even for a Korbanth, it's pretty hefty, especially right in here once it's installed with the battery sitting here and everything. So you really have to give it a swing for the board to be able to differentiate between movement and not movement with all that inertia to deal with. This is gray meat. It's not inaccurate, but it's you really have to kind of whip, attack, you know. Hard to describe, but it's a very hefty. It feels like it definitely feels like the A New Hope is described by George Lucas as having very heavy resistance, but it's cool. And of course you can change that. You can make it a lot more sensitive or whatever you want to do with the settings. Here's the Goth 3D Designs Knight chassis with the brass rods going through in a couple different spots. So it's actually pretty sturdy as far as 3D chassis go. With the 20mm speaker housing there, and the 2.1mm recharge port with a twistable kill key. There's the quartz crystal, which is linked with the main LED. There we go. So whatever the main LED, the two blue LEDs will do is going to be reflected by that, and it's shining up through the crystal, actually through the bottom. No part of the LED itself is exposed, so it's, all the light is going through the crystal up through into shining the board. And for the board, to access it, all you need to do, keep the chassis oriented. There's no set screw or anything in there. It's just kind of friction fit. So without changing the orientation of it, just kind of pull it out a little bit, about that far. And then you'll be able to get in there with tweezers to get the SD card. It's not that hard at all. And if you need to, you can pull it out, you know, significantly more, but just to keep the wires how they are up here in the neck. That's all I really needed to do to get access to it. I was able to fit it in without just pulling it out that tiny bit. And then just, again, keep the crystal oriented the same way and just push it up until there's no gap on the side there. And that's plenty. Even with the kill key in it, there's plenty of room for the pommel to go on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And hope you like it, Justin. Thanks.